just chatting about the sport of quad ball. My name is Jackson Vaughn, and we're back here with the Week 3 updates from Everything USQ. First thing, game of the week, as posted by USQ and the Massachusetts Quad Ball Conference. RPI versus Brown was their game of the week, and it did not disappoint, as we'll look at in just a second. Be sure to leave all your thoughts in the comments as we continue to talk about the season thus far. Here's all the scores from this weekend's games in the Massachusetts Quad Ball Conference. 5 official games this weekend, 2 unofficial. Harvard taking down Brown. Harvard also defeating Boston. Boston won the unofficial matchup last week, but Harvard wins when it matters this time. Boston defeating Brown, RPI, and Brown. This was the game of the week. We'll look at it more in depth here in just a second, but maybe an early contender for the greatest comeback of the season. And then RPI taking down Emerson. And then Vassar and Middlebury. Vassar, we're seeing them on the field for the first time. They combined for these 2 games, playing Emerson and Boston. So good to see Vassar, a new team on the block and combining with Middlebury. Here's all the scores on the screen now for this past weekend in MQC. Let's start with Harvard versus Boston. Definitely anticipated game between maybe some of the top teams in the conference. Harvard taking the win in this one, 160 to 115, and they started out on a 9-2 run in this game. Harvard setting the tone early, and then you'll notice there was a red card for Harvard, although Boston did not score off of it. Came out in 14:58, and in the full 2 minutes, Boston was not able to score a goal. They were able to start making a comeback late, caught the flag, but it was just too little too late. Harvard gets the win, 160 to 115 in that first official matchup between those 2 squads. Elisa C playing very good for this Harvard team. Shin, and I believe it's pronounced Sharaba for Boston, also having good games for the Terriers. Then let's take a look at definitely the game of the weekend. Brown versus RPI. As predicted by USQ, this would be the game of the week. We saw Brown early take an 11-6 lead, including the flag catch here. At this point right here, at 21:48, it's 11-6. Brown leading. Set score was 13. So it looks like they all had it wrapped up, and then a 7-1 run in about, looks like 10 minutes of game time by RPI to complete a massive comeback and take the game on golden goal. A fantastic sequence to end the game. Congratulations to RPI for the victory there. Moving on, this is the current standings for the MQC. Looks like Harvard, RPI, undefeated to start the year in official play. No teams in unofficial or overall record undefeated anymore after Boston suffering a loss to Harvard. But the Horntails and RPI taking an early lead. Emerson, Brown, yet to find a win. Vassar, Middlebury combined for this weekend, but also their games were unofficial, so they haven't technically played an official game yet. We didn't see Vermont this weekend. We also have not seen Rutgers yet at all this season, but we'll take a look at in a second. That is coming up this weekend. So then we had a week one reactions thread, and we had a claim here that the UVA rookies were playing some very good quad ball this weekend, and indeed they did. An unofficial round robin between UVA, James Madison, and Triangle United. Triangle United being that combined North Carolina team, NC State, UNC, and Duke, if I'm not mistaken. And as you can see, Virginia put up 240 in 3 of their games and broke 200 in all of them, catching the flag in 2 of those games. And this was an absolute masterclass by the Cavaliers. And you'll see right here, number 1 for Virginia. 6 goals right here. I counted a total of 14 on the weekend. This player is a rookie for UVA. Tristan Schneider, I believe, is the name. 14 goals on the weekend, a rookie for the Cavaliers, having an amazing weekend. 14 at least. All the goals in Quad Ball 1 weren't even labeled, so it's at least 14 goals in 4 games. Joey Bay and Nathan Junn also playing very well as veterans for this team with MLQ experience. They're leading the way very well for Virginia. And the Cavaliers definitely look like championship contenders early. James Madison put up a fight this weekend, though. 95 points, almost breaking 100 against Virginia. Definitely an accomplishment for sure. And then they caught the flag in 3 out of 4 games, James Madison. So congratulations to them. 3 catches here, I believe all by the same player. But James Madison playing very well this weekend. Definitely a team to watch out for in Mid-Atlantic play. Triangle United also getting some good experience this weekend. So then we get on to some of the records. Obviously 4-0 for the Cavaliers, 0-4 for Triangle, 2-2 for James Madison, but none of that official play just yet. So no official games in the book. So now looking ahead to this upcoming weekend, October the 11th, we can see RPI is hosting Rutgers and Brandeis. We saw RPI in action this past weekend. We'll see them again, along with Brandeis and Rutgers for the first time. Rutgers for the first time all season. Brandeis seeing their first official matches. So excited for that. And then up in the Rust Belt, they'll be having their second official meet of the season. The Illini, Bowling Green, and Michigan State will all be playing. And then there will be a mercenary team, which I would assume those will be unofficial games. I can't confirm that. But definitely there will be at least 3 games that are official between the Illini, Bowling Green, and Michigan State. If I had to predict, I would say the Illini probably go 2-0. And across all games, I'm predicting Illinois to finish undefeated on the weekend. Michigan State probably second. Hard to know anything about this mercenary team right now. So we'll say that Bowling Green finishes in third. And then for MQC, I'm going to take Brandeis, I think, to finish first. We'll say RPI second, Rutgers third, but it's hard to tell having not seen anything from Rutgers just yet. But RPI had a very good weekend. I'm going to say they ride some momentum into this weekend at their home series and maybe snag an upset. Somebody told me, by the way, that these records from last weekend's meet, or the first meet, were not actually official games. So I might take this off of the standings page here. But here are the current standings for the Midwest region. Obviously a lot of teams that we haven't seen yet in this region: Missouri, Creighton, Minnesota. Although some of those teams should be playing at Trick or Beat here in just a couple of weeks. So Rust Belt and MQC this weekend, I believe it's Lone Star Cup, so that'll be the first time we see Southwest teams in action. The following weekend on the 18th, and then I believe Trick or Beat will be the weekend after on the 25th, and that should be the first time we see club teams in action as well. So a lot of things to be excited for in Quad Bowl. Please let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch y'all next week. This is Jackson Vaughn signing off.